Life, with all its complexities and intricacies, often presents us with moments of clarity and insight. Through triumphs and tribulations alike, we are bestowed with invaluable lessons that shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. In this enlightening session, we'll explore captivating narratives that shed light on the intrinsic value of life itself. Through poignant stories and insightful reflections, we'll uncover the profound lessons hidden within life's most meaningful moments. If you're joining us for the first time, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Your support not only helps me continue creating content like this, but also ensures you never miss out on my latest videos. Thank you for joining our community of seekers and learners. Let's embark on this journey together. Lessons about the value of life. Story 1. Sympathy. I remember when I was 8 or 9 years old, my mother sometimes burned bread. One night, my mother came home after a long day of work and she made dinner for my father and me. She placed a few slices of burnt toast on the table, not ordinary scorched bread, but black as coal. I sat looking at the slices of bread and waiting to see if anyone would notice something unusual about them and speak up. But my father just ate his piece of cake and asked me about my homework and school things like every other day. I don't remember what I said to him that day, but I remember hearing my mother apologize to him for burning the bread, and I'll never forget what my father said to my mother. "Honey, I like burnt bread." That night, I went to wish my father good night and asked if he really liked burnt bread. My father put his arm around my shoulders and said, "Your mother has worked very hard all day and she's very tired. A slice of burnt bread can't hurt anyone. But you know what really hurts others? Criticism and blame." "That's harsh." Then he continued, "You know, life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. I'm also pretty bad at a lot of things, like I can't remember birthdays or anniversaries. Like some others. What I have learned over the years is to learn to accept other people's mistakes and choose to support their differences. That is the most important key to creating a healthy, mature, and sustainable relationship. Life is too short to wake up with regrets and discomfort. Love those who treat you well and sympathize with those who don't." The father could have complained about the burnt bread and told the mother to make him another piece of bread, but he did not. Because he knew his wife had just had a hard day at work, but still went into the kitchen to prepare meals for the whole family without a single complaint. So instead of criticizing that piece of bread, he would eat it deliciously. It made the wife so much happier and more relieved. What do we want to say here? It's the way we look at things, know how to share and sympathize with others. Life comes in all shapes and sizes. We have not fully discovered who we are even when we are living in the last years of our lives. No one is perfect, so we cannot judge the whole person by looking at a small mistake, especially those who are always by your side and love you. In life, you need to learn to sympathize with the weaknesses and limitations of others. Sympathizing with the lives and personalities of everyone in your family, friends, spouses, will help you live a harmonious life around you. Sympathy is the secret to nurturing family happiness. Story 2. The greatest value. Every person in life carries a value within them when they are born. Perhaps many of you will always wonder, what is the greatest value of your life? And always look for the answer to it, but still cannot find it. Before talking about the greatest value of your life, please refer to the following story. A sick father had a feeling he wouldn't live long, so he called his daughter and said, "This is the watch your grandfather gave me, and it is over 200 years old. But before I give it to you, take it to the market to sell. If someone asks the price, don't say anything but just show 2 fingers. If someone bids, don't sell it and bring it back. At that time, I will tell you what the greatest value of your life is." The next morning, the girl followed her father's instructions and happily brought it to the market to sell. In the market, crowded with buyers and sellers, everyone is very curious. Who would just sit and sell an old, outdated watch like that? As a result, a while later, a woman came and asked the girl, "How much is this watch?" The girl remained silent and held out 2 fingers. The woman said again, $2? The girl shook her head. The woman said again, So $20. Okay, my husband probably likes old things like this to display in the living room's glass cabinet. Hearing that, the girl thought, oh my God, how can someone buy an old watch for $20? So the girl did not sell it but brought it back as her father told her to do. The girl said, Father, today, someone spent $20 to buy that watch from me. The father slowly replied, no need to rush. Tomorrow, take it to the museum. If someone asks the price, you still just raise 2 fingers. If that person bids, don't sell it and bring it back, and we'll talk later. Early in the morning of the second day, the girl happily brought the old watch to the museum. In the museum, there were many people surrounding, whispering, what value does an ordinary watch like this have to bring to a museum? This watch was brought to a museum, so it definitely has some value. Maybe we just haven't realized it yet. At this time, a person from the crowd walked up and asked the girl, hey lady, how much is this watch? The girl did not speak, just raised 2 fingers as her father instructed. That person said, $20? The girl shook her head. That person said again, $200? Okay. I also need to add to the museum's collection of old watches from each historical period.
Hearing that, the girl suddenly took a step back because she was so surprised. The girl still obeyed her father's words and brought the watch home.
Father, today someone wants to buy this watch for $200. This time, have you wanted to tell me what the greatest value of my life is? The father struggled to breathe, smiled, and replied, tomorrow, bring it to the antique store to sell. Just like before, if someone bids, then go home. I will definitely tell you what the greatest value of your life is. Early in the morning of the third day, the girl brought it to the antique shop again, and there were still many curious people around. Some people talked, what is the brand of this watch? Where did it come from? Which era? Late in the evening, someone finally came forward and asked, hey little girl, how much is this watch? The girl still raised 2 fingers. $200?
$200. The girl widened her eyes, opened her mouth, and exclaimed in surprise, this customer thought he was paying too low a price, which made her angry, so he quickly said again, Are not, I said wrong. It's $2,000. $2,000. When the girl heard this, she quickly grabbed the watch and ran all the way back, returning home, panting and saying, Father, this time we are rich. Someone today was willing to spend $2,000 to buy our watch. Now, will you tell me the greatest value of my life? The father stroked his little daughter's head and said very affectionately, my child, the greatest value of your life is like this watch. If you put yourself in the market, you're only worth $20. If you put yourself in a museum, you could be worth up to $200. If you put yourself in an antique store, you'll be worth up to $2,000. This is the greatest value of your life. I want to let you know that if you come to the right place, your value will be appreciated immediately. Don't put yourself in the wrong place and get angry when you are misjudged. People who know your value will appreciate you. Don't stay in a place that isn't right for you. Don't stay with someone who doesn't know your value. Having finished speaking, he peacefully left this world.